Hello, everybody.
What's up, everyone?
We are back with another live. Today's topic is, are you ready to date? And how do you know when you're ready to date?
Right.
So today we're going to share some signs that will let you know, like, I'm ready to date. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to start mingling and mixing with the folks.
Right. Or signs to let us know that maybe we're not ready.
Yeah.
We got to do some more work
do
on
the
ourselves.
opposite of it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
For those of you who do not know us, my name is Marisol.
I'm Quan Grant.
And together we formed Mission Mindset, which is a live talk show that we created to come every Tuesday with a new topic to help people create the life that they want with using their mind, being disciplined, and all this cool stuff. So we get this information, and we think it's really important for everyone to learn different tools and tactics and different things that can help them throughout life.
Right.
So we're really passionate about this, and that's why we come here every week for a whole hour.
Right.
And
to bring you guys fresh, hot topics.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff to make you think, stuff to inspire you, empower you, to challenge you. So that's why we do this every week. You know, we're trying to bring some positivity and some light, some love to social media.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys can hear us well and if the music's too loud in the background.
We have 3 devices going.
Yeah, because I have music playing. So could you guys hear us well? Is the music drowning us out at all? Put a thumbs up or a like.
Right. Good.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So we're just waiting for some people to roll in.
We're waiting for them to roll in.
Yeah, we'll get started right away.
They're coming in slowly but surely. We thank you guys for tuning in.
And with the new time, people are waiting for 8 p.m. Because that's when we usually do it.
Right. So we're trying to start a little bit later, kind of get some more followers and some different viewers. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the words. We appreciate that.
Are you able to hear us well? I just want to know, because if the music's too loud, you could turn it down, because Facebook could ding us on that.
Yeah, I think you probably should
forbid
turn it down just a little bit.
Okay, I'll turn it down. Make sure it's turned down a little bit. There. All right, so we're gonna dive right in.
Yes.
So, are you dating? Are you ready to date? Like, what was your past relationships like? And, you want to get back out there and meet new people and start on this whole new journey. But how do you know that you're ready to do that?
Right.
Sorry, I just spit out because I have stuff in my mouth. This is really going to be good. Yes, Cynthia, my mom. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Word. It's a hot topic.
Definitely. So we're going to share with you the best stuff on the internet of how to know when.
Right.
And also we're going to coin it with our experiences.
Yeah.
And we would like to hear from you guys too.
Right.
Some feedback, some questions, comments, any of that. That'd be great.
Because sometimes we think we're ready for dating, and sometimes it's the opposite. We're not as ready as we think we are. Sometimes it's just by a certain age, as we start getting older, if you're single for more than 5 years in your 20s, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be 25. I need to hurry up and date. Or I'm 30. This is what I just need to do because it's the thing to do. When that's not the right way to dive into dating.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to make sure, you're right within yourself. Because it's 2 people involved.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And sometimes we get into relationships for our own selfish reasons. You know what I mean?
And that's when it doesn't work out and we're not happy or pleased with the results.
Right.
But we have to realize it's all about intention.
What's up, Alex?
Right. So, thank you all for rolling in. Hi, Randall. We have some people over here on Quan's Instagram that came in. Want to thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Definitely, you want to take your time.
Absolutely.
So we're going to roll right in because Quan and I both have this personal experience and wanting to date and looking for, being more intentional in our lives. 'Cause
Right.
going through this whole transformational process or going through this spiritually, it really allows you to see yourself and to see your value and your worth and exactly what you truly desire. And you don't want to settle for anything less than that.
And you start to want more.
You want more.
When you start to, when God starts to show you yourself, or you start to see yourself for who you really are, and you start to really love yourself, and you start to spend time with yourself and get to know yourself, it comes a time in your life when it's just like, okay, I want more. I want to step out. I want to, experience new things.
Exactly.
And dating is like a part of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Part of your growth, change. And maybe you're already dating, but you realize maybe you jumped in it the wrong way.
Or you jumped in too soon.
Too soon, too
Or
fast.
it's not the right person, or you having questions in your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
What's up, Keisha?
What's up?
So we're going to start off with the first sign, right? Since we're already getting into it, we're already jumping ahead.
And don't hesitate to talk to us. Don't leave us out there hanging. Talk to us. Give us feedback. Let us know how you guys relate to the topic, and let us know if it's being helpful.
Yeah, your feedback and everything.
Yeah.
So 5 signs you are ready to start dating.
Right.
Don't make fun of me today, okay? Come on, you're going to get sucker punched. So you are ready when the first thing we said, the first sign is when you honor yourself.
Yeah.
When you honor your higher self and you are in alignment with your purpose and who you truly are and who you're becoming and morphing into this beautiful butterfly,
Right.
you won't settle for any compromising. You're not going to compromise in any relationship or with any person.
Right.
And we also said you're not going to obsess over the high expectations you might have.
Right.
You're not going to obsess over, okay, this person needs to be this way, or I want them, and da-da-da-da, and have your own selfish reasons for wanting to date this person.
Yeah.
And we say, when you are truly honoring your higher self and loving yourself, and that's really what it's based on, is just loving yourself. And, hi, Tawana, thank you for joining. Loving yourself wholeheartedly.
Right.
And we feel like God plays a huge part in that.
Absolutely.
And knowing who you are, your identity. And so when you are, embarking on this journey to discover yourself, you're not, and it comes that time where, people are coming in your life and they're looking at you and they're interested in you.
Right.
You're not so quick to jump into things
Right.
because you are honoring who you are, your inner being, your values that you establish for yourself, any boundaries that you have for yourself, all those things, because it all plays a role into who this person you really want and the person that you want to attract.
Right.
So when you start doing that, you will start to attract like-minded individuals.
And you always know when you're not honoring your higher self, and that's when you're kind of going against things that you normally wouldn't do or wouldn't stand for.
Exactly.
You're going against your morals. You're going against your values. And when you start compromising in those areas in your life, that's when you know you're not really honoring your higher self, your true self. So that's when I think you have to kind of reevaluate the situation, you know what I mean, and just figure out, wait, this is not how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
I need to love myself. I need to honor myself. I need to stay true to what I stand for, my spiritual beliefs. You know what I mean? So I think when you start compromising in those areas, that's when you know you're not really honoring yourself, and it's time to kind of shift.
Yeah, and also the other person. So like if you're in a relationship or you start to date someone, or you're like on that cusp,
Right.
and you let the person know, like, this is what I value, this is what I stand for, and if they are not honoring that, then that's another sign, like, you need to just back off.
What's up, Billy? The topic is, are you ready to date? We're talking about dating and the signs.
To know when you are ready.
Yeah. So
Shantae,
we had some
Tawana.
comments.
Yeah, we do have a comment on Facebook. This is actually from my mom, Cynthia. She says, my last relationship, I moved really fast. That was a lesson learned. Yeah, you don't want to rush into it. And that's one of our signs, too. So, you don't want to rush into anything. And we're going to get to that. So
Hold tight.
Hold tight for that one. Thank you for that comment, though.
Absolutely. Here's another one.
Number 2.
Did we touch on compromising enough?
Yeah.
Track like
You're okay with being single.
Yeah. And that's a hard one that some people have a hard time doing, being single. Some people really don't know how to be single. And I know for me, sometimes it was challenging.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it's just like, I want to be with
someone. Want to be with someone.
Yeah.
It's like that need to feel fulfilled. Like, this person wants you, they love you, they care about you, attention, all that kind of stuff.
Attention, wanting people to make you happy. Wanting someone just to have for your own selfish reasons, like just to say you have someone, and maybe to show off, maybe to prove something to family and friends. All the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons.
So
it's okay to be single.
Yeah.
And you want to be in a position when you are ready to date. That's one of the signs.
Yeah. That
you could be single. That you're okay with being single. Going out to dinner by yourself,
right?
Going to the movies, and I'm good. I'm good at that. Like, I could do that all day, every day. Right. You just have to be okay with being by yourself, because you never want to be in a relationship with someone and just feel like, you need them.
Yeah.
Like, without them, you're nothing. So that's why it's always good to be whole within yourself before a relationship.
Yeah.
Because whether they're there or not, you're going to survive. You're going to be fine.
You never want to really rely on people to, make you happy. We have to practice learning how to be happy on our own and by ourselves. What makes you happy? What do you like to do? What do you like to do in your free time? And just making time for self-care.
Yes, exactly.
Is important. And just being good with yourself. It's okay to want to work hard and take yourself out and, because when you're in a relationship, these are things that we're going to wish that we were able to do at some point. You know what I mean? You're going to wish you could be by yourself and, do other things. You know what I mean?
Like, a relationship is not a want.
Especially if you never, I always say, I think it's good to experience something on your own. I see so many people jump in relationships and then they're living with them.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Right off the jump. Like, no marriage, no, hasn't even been 2 and 3 years. It's just like, okay, you're living with this person. You have to learn how to do you for a period of time, you know what I mean, before jumping in a relationship.
And satisfy your own needs first. Because a lot of times people do not do those things that they want to do.
Right.
Then they get into this relationship and it's like this push and pull thing, because you feel like, I want to be free. I want to do these things. But now I feel like I have this obligation to this other person.
Right.
I got to care about their feelings. I got to, call them. I got to talk to them every day. You kind of feel obligated to do these things when you're in a relationship or dating someone. It takes a lot of effort and time.
Right.
So make sure you satisfy your own needs first. So you never have to have this passive aggressive, feeling towards the other person as you're trying to get to know them.
Right.
Like they owe you something or they took something away from you.
Right.
When really you just didn't honor yourself.
That's good.
You didn't give yourself enough time.
That's good. Want to read some of these comments?
I see we have a lot of comments actually.
They're going thick.
Tawana says, absolutely. Shantae says, same goes for people that recycle mates, hence never single.
Oh,
exactly.
Word.
We were going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
That's one of our signs too.
Yep.
So hold on tight for that. And Tawana says, singleness is just as important as being in a relationship.
Absolutely.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And we're gonna even touch on that.
Practicing wholeness and, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. One with yourself, one with God. Cynthia says, I don't think there's anyone out there for me. What?
Well, LaShonda came in, she said, hey everyone.
That's not true.
And Shonda says she's single like a Pringo. Yeah, Cynthia says, I don't think there's anyone out there for me.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't believe that. Like, you will feel that way, when a relationship goes sour or dated different people, along the years, and none of the relationships worked out.
Right.
So that's what we're saying. You probably wasn't ready to be in a relationship in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
It's a possibility, yeah.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or that person that you were dating probably wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready, yeah.
So sometimes you may feel ready and the other person's not ready.
Yeah.
But you have to give yourself some time and work on the things that you love and get passionate about something and start to build yourself up. Yeah. Like we said, the wholeness and being in alignment with yourself, your values, what you hold close to your heart, and satisfying your needs, and not feeling like you need another person to lean on or to fill that void for you.
And I think when you get to that place of just self-development and just like really working on yourself and becoming one with yourself and being okay with being single and just living and being happy all by yourself, that's when you kind of start to attract people that are like kind of like-minded and whole, and you know what I mean?
They feel that vibe.
Yeah. So I think it's just the perfect time to just like to just work on yourself and just wait on God.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And at the right time, I think the right person will come along.
Steady progression, though.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Pour it into yourself.
Right.
And praying and meditating and just don't give up, because there is someone for everyone.
Right.
Trust me.
And just making sure you don't want someone for the wrong reason.
Yeah, make sure of that. Just because you feel lonely or anything like that, don't do that.
Yeah.
Hi, Nadia. Thanks for joining us.
What's up?
So Greg Daniel says a relationship is when you can break down the purpose of you and the person you're with. Relationship. What I mean is, can you both relate to each other on the purpose of being together? And relate. Can you both relate to each other on the purpose of being together? And ship, can you both ride the ship of becoming one? Going through all the bad and good and seeing the bad and good in each other. And still wanting to become one going into marriage. That's pretty deep, because that's so true. It's kind of like not looking at each other's flaws. So that's why it's good to be whole, individually whole, right? Let's look at us, for example. He's whole, I'm whole, and we're trying to embark on this journey together. So we're looking at each other, but we're not judging the other person.
Right.
We're loving them, all their flaws, all their mistakes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're loving them unconditionally.
Yeah.
And you're walking together, but you're not expecting this from the other person, and he's not expecting this from you,
Kind of accepting each other.
Yeah. It's kind of like what he was saying, like the relationship part. You're riding a ship together.
Right.
But you put more weight on the ship in order, for it to sink if you start pulling from each other. So like, I don't have enough of this. I need you to give it to me.
Right.
And you will pull me and say, I don't have enough of this. Give it to me.
Right.
That's going to make the ship sink.
Yeah.
You get that? You get it?
No, that's good. I like that.
Hey, Laquita, thank you for joining.
What's up?
Yes.
And my boy Billy over here said, we don't want to
let's
forget him. Billy said, I just feel as though I should never give a person the power to say the words. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have things you have. If it wasn't for me.
Like, people will say that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to leave a relationship or you're in a relationship, well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Yeah.
They try to take credit and claim over your life that, it was them that got you there.
Right. And that goes back to, like, being whole already, right? I mean, because you can't stop people from saying that. Some people are going to say stuff like that anyway. Does that make sense?
I mean, some people would say things like that if they were very insecure or felt like,
that's the word, insecure.
Like they didn't want you to leave, or they didn't want you to feel like you were good enough to have someone else. Yeah, they're trying to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
But when you know who you are and you're whole,
that's key.
That's not gonna affect you.
Seriously.
You're not gonna have time for that.
Seriously.
You're gonna be like, what? Okay. See you later. I'm just gonna pray for you.
Right.
So yeah, that's so true. Shonda says, right, I feel that. And Greg says, on point.
Word.
Yeah.
Anyone over here?
No.
Let's go to the next point.
The next point we were going to say, the next sign that says you are ready when you are over your last relationship.
That's important because sometimes we think we're over them, but we're really not over them. We're still talking about them. We're thinking about them. And when we get into relationships, sometimes we try to what the other person, the guy or the girl used to do, we try to put that on this new person that's in the life. Like, you know what I mean? We start comparing them. Well, this person used to do this for me. Or, you know what I mean? You never want to do that. You know what I mean?
And you're not over your last relationship when you don't forgive the person.
Yeah.
You know? When you,
Still
whether it's
holding
bad
on
or good or whatever,
her.
it's just forgiving yourself, because sometimes you feel like you wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may have been the cause for the relationship to end, and you feel guilt or whatever. So it's just about acceptance and taking responsibility for your part in any of the relationships you had in the past.
Right.
And not bringing that to your future, but just forgiving yourself, forgiving the other person, and accepting it and moving forward.
Moving on. Yeah. Not holding on to any hurt. Hurtful words that they may have said or whatever may have happened.
Or the words that you said to yourself.
Right. Or to them.
Or to them.
So.
Because you know when you get upset, you can say some hurtful things, right?
Yep.
Both be in the bathroom crying.
Right.
Exactly. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, cuz? Hey, Chase. Thanks for tuning in. Our topic today is, are you ready to date? And the signs to know when you are ready.
Yes.
So we just went over some of them. And we're on the third sign, is knowing when you're over your past relationships. And here we put down, you're not going to settle for conditional love, you know? Like on this condition, I'm only going to love you because if you do this, or it has to be this way, or else I'm not going to love you, you know? You want unconditional love.
Right. That's love that's never going to change. That's going to be consistent.
Yeah. Kind of accepting each other, flaws and all.
Yeah.
And just knowing that whatever you could change, you change it within yourselves. But you give that other person the power to do that for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always good to go in a relationship feeling whole and feeling good.
Yeah, because when you love yourself, you know how you want to be loved. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
How you want to be respected and treated. Mm-hmm. You know?
You teach people by the way you
love yourself. Exactly. Very true. People should not all...
Who says that? Say the name, I can't see it. Marie?
It says Marie says people should not...
You gotta speak louder, I can't hear you.
How you can't hear me?
Because of music.
People should not... people should also not enter a relationship to distract them from going back to their ex. That's true too.
Don't use others as a distraction.
As a distraction to go back to your ex. Because now you're using the person. We have that too,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Using them.
Yeah. She said don't use others as a
distraction. Like, we're going to talk about rebounds and having sex with people just to fill the void.
Right.
And loneliness.
Right.
But we're saying owning your sexual energy.
That's a good one. You know, when people... you know, not feeling like you have to respond to every person that's whistling at you, that's saying you look beautiful, and now you feel like you got to sleep with them, or because they said you smell good or you look good. You know what I mean? You feel like you got to give yourself to them. Yeah. But I think that, to me, that means just like owning your sexual energy and your power. You know what I mean? And not giving that away. We talked about that one time in another live.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And you're a sexual being. You have a sexual side.
Right.
It's good. You know, it could be vibrant.
Natural.
It's natural.
Right.
You could walk in that and own it.
Right.
But like you said, just every person that compliments you, you don't have to go out on a date with them.
Right. Or give them your number.
Or feel bad.
The conversation.
Yeah, entertaining it just to fill time and space when you know it's not somebody that you're even interested in. But he's like, hey, he likes me, or she likes me, so I might as well just...
You might as well go. We might as well go out. Hey.
Ain't nobody else going out.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You don't want to do that.
Nah, own your power.
Jean says, good message tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, nah.
Cynthia said exactly.
Yes.
Nice.
Does anybody have any comments? Any questions so
Yes.
far? I want to check in with you guys. Anybody out there ready to date, or you feel like you're like
On the
kinda
fence, like me.
like you need a little more time?
Yeah. Scared.
Put some
of
comments
going
up there
to
while we
date.
go into the next point.
Yes.
I want to hear from you.
Let us know. Don't be quiet. What's the next one? 4 is acceptance of the past.
Acceptance of the
Acceptance
past.
of the past. Where you come from, what you've been through. Right?
Yeah, everything, because that all affects
Everything.
your relationships with
Yeah.
people.
And not being ashamed of where you came from. And what it took for you to get to where you are now.
And not allowing your past to have control over you or own you
Your
to
future.
the point that you aren't able to move forward,
Right.
you know? Keisha says, like my singleness. And Infinity Blake says, women who dress sexual bring out lust in men. Dress in modest apparel. Well, I mean, everybody's free to dress how they want.
Right, but
If,
that doesn't.
if it does bring out lust in anybody, I mean, you gotta have self-control.
I was just about to say that. Like, that's not the excuse to, like, be like, well, you had on a short skirt, so,
Yeah.
you know, I came up and smacked you on your butt.
Exactly. So yeah, it is, you know, very enticing sometimes when women could dress in a blouse. You
And
know?
it's natural to be
And it's
attracted
natural to
to
be
that.
attracted to that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
And
nothing
vice
wrong
versa.
with either side.
Right.
You know?
But it's about self-control.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, I don't agree with him with that.
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah. He said dress in modest apparel. You're funny.
right.
Women are allowed to be sexual and own their sexuality and their sexual energy.
Word.
Doesn't mean they're a hoe, doesn't mean they're any of those things or prostitute or anything.
Word.
Like she can own herself and be bold in that, you know?
Word.
If a
And
man
still-
could be that way, a woman could be
And
that
still
way.
deserve to be respected.
And be respected.
As a woman.
Yes. So it
agree.
takes a respectful man who can recognize beauty and greatness,
Word.
you know, a sexy woman
Right.
who is strong
And still
in
approach
herself,
them with
and
respect.
still approach her with respect.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to shield our sexual side because we're all sexual beings, and we should be able to express that in any way we feel
Absolutely.
that is, you know, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like go out and
Right.
be like,
Be
hey,
ashamed.
I'm just saying
Right.
in a real nice way where you could do that and not feel ashamed to be sexual. Okay, Laquita says, I am ready to start dating again, but I do not think it would be appropriate in regards to my situation. No,
What is-
I don't think so. You're kind of engaged.
Right. Why would you say that?
Oh.
Your sister's crazy.
Yeah, that's my sister, guys. She's funny. Infinity Blake says, the Bible says women must adore themselves in modest apparel. Yeah, you can be in...
But you know what? You could have modest apparel on and still be a
Be
skank.
very sexual.
Yeah. So
You can exude that sexual, you know, that sex appeal.
Yeah.
Some people are just really...
it's about how you carry
Beautiful.
yourself.
It's about
you
how-
know what I
yeah.
mean? And it goes back to men too. You know what I mean? Like it's not just on women. Like women aren't the only one that have to walk around and be covered up and be modest all the time. But men should be mindful of what we wear too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if you're gonna say that, but I think people have the freedom to dress how they want to dress.
Yeah.
But you do want to be mindful of just how you represent yourself as a whole.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Not just with your clothes, but your overall being.
Yeah, your
how you treat people, how you
reputation.
talk to people, all that. How you dress.
So yeah, that's true. It's just the way people present themselves.
Yeah.
He said, not me,
Yeah,
argue with God. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying that.
And it's not an argument.
No, it's not an argument. We're just saying that we want people to feel free to be able to express themselves without being put into a box or feel
Right.
like they have to be like, you know, it's even with some women, like I could be in a sweatshirt or something, and a guy could think that's really, really sexy or something, you know?
Right.
And put me in that category, like, oh, you know? So it doesn't really matter sometimes what you're wearing.
Right.
Some women, you just...
You gotta have gym clothes on
women
coming out of the
are
gym.
sexual beings,
Right.
you know? But I get you. I'm glad you brought that up. We do want to be mindful how we do carry ourselves, because we want to be mindful of our character and everything, our reputation. So thank you for that comment. Shonda says, it's definitely the inner man that matters most. Exactly. Because that will definitely come through. Even whatever you're wearing and how you're presenting yourself is your inner self.
Yeah.
You know, and that exudes on the exterior. And people could feel that.
Absolutely.
You. So that's important too.
Absolutely. Next point.
So we already talked about that. So number 5, you want to date for the right reasons.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. You don't want to jump into the relationship, you know, dating someone just to have sex, just to say you have someone on your arm, just to show off with your boys, or to fulfill like boys. Like these are reasons you don't want to jump into a relationship.
Exactly. So we said, like dating with intention.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you want to recognize what do you want.
Yeah.
You know, you want to know what you want. What are your values? Establish them for yourself. If you've never had any before, establish some values for yourself.
And don't wait till you start dating.
And don't wait. Yeah, you might even figure it out when you dated a couple people, what you value the most.
Right.
And that will help you for the next time. But definitely think about those values. Think about what you want for your future and how you want to present yourself when you're going out there.
Yeah.
So that's when you know when you're ready, because you figured that all out. And you're moving with intention of like, okay, I want to get married one day, you know, or I want children,
right.
Or I want the man or the woman I'm with to like be confident. You know, you just have this idea in your mind, and you definitely will start to attract people like that. Hey, Kenny's, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Stacy came in. Hey, Stacy.
Mommy said definitely not. Definitely not what?
Definitely not what? I don't know. That's too funny what she's saying. Keisha says trial and error. Definitely. I'm going to overload.
Yo, you are out of control, yo.
I'm sorry, it's like an inside joke. You guys see it on my Instagram when I cut him off last week. That was too funny. He asked me if I had ADHD. I was like,
shut up, yeah.
No, I'm joking.
All right, the next point. This is what Mommy was talking about. She said just having an arm piece. That's true. You want more than that. You know, as you get older, you deserve more than that. You know what I mean? And just a little trophy piece.
Yeah, like a trophy. Like, this is my man or this is my woman.
Right.
Like, what is your intention?
Mommy, you're a great woman. The right person is going to come at the right time. You keep on living for God. Keep on being the awesome person that you are. And the right person is going to come along and just sweep you off your feet. And it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
It's going to be the right time. Timing is everything. God did not forget about you. He has someone great for you. Exactly. But this goes back to the point you were saying earlier. You're not in a rush. This is when you know you're ready to date. You're not in a rush. What in the world did you write right here?
No rebound relationships or hookups.
Right. That's what we were saying also earlier. Take time without expectations.
So with the rebound relationships, you definitely don't want to do that.
Right.
Because sometimes people rush into dating and they're like, you know, they're very attracted to the person and then they end up having sex with them and then it's just like, goes to waste. Or you just hook up with them to fill the time.
Right. Or you move too fast and then you're starting, you know, you got all these commitments so soon and so early on. Then you start to learn more about this person, and now you're wishing like you was never even in a relationship with them because you just like everything's happening so fast, and now things are going wrong. It's like you don't even have time to kind of correct what's wrong, what's broken, and what's falling apart.
Exactly.
And you don't even know if you want it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's deep.
That's when you're moving too fast.
Exactly.
You know? And sometimes we feel like, you know, the time is ticking. Like, okay, like I'm 30, I'm 40, or, you know what I mean? And we just try to, I see people do it all the time, to be honest. You know, you see people get married, they get engaged, you know, but then it breaks off and they're not engaged anymore.
Exactly.
Or they're divorced. It's like, take your time.
Yeah, take the time. There's no rush.
Yeah, there's no rush. Like, you know what I mean? Make sure you're good. What
Yeah.
you laughing?
Definitely, my sister here said.
What you got?
She said, life is good, but I feel pressure at times to conform, but I know me and know when it's not a good time. Exactly. You feel pressure from society, and
Right.
when you're aging and getting older, you feel like, I'm not married yet, or everybody around me is getting married and having children, or you might feel this pressure. Infinity says walk-in trophy. Yeah, when we're talking about having a trophy wife. And Shonda says, Mary, your eyes did the thing for a second. We went over that. That was funny. Mommy says, that's what happened to me in my last relationship.
Word.
And she says, who's aging? No, as you get older, you know what I mean. When you start getting older, you start to feel like you're running out of time because the way society puts so much pressure on you, right?
Yeah. And it's good to just, like, I can't stress this enough, just work on yourself. You know, stay committed to God. Trust Him. You know what I mean? And allow God to work on you and bring out those good qualities in you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And at the right time, you're gonna, when you least expect it, I believe you'll just like, things will start to happen. Like, and that's not just with dating, with whatever you're expecting, whatever you want out of life. You know what I mean? Whether it's a job, a career, or whatever, you just keep working on yourself, keep pushing forward. And I think at the right time, what you don't want to do is waste time. You know what I mean? Or not work on yourself, because then you're only prolonging the whole process.
Exactly.
So don't get in the way of what God is doing, but like follow the process and just, you know what I mean? That makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. You want to keep progressing.
Yeah.
Don't get complacent
Right.
and think things are just going to come to you.
Yeah.
You have to work on it.
Yeah.
Hi, Puma. Thanks for coming in. Stacy says, yes, red flags. And Keisha says, God want me single. And Puma says, I feel you.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think God wants you single?
Who's that?
Keisha. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, maybe for this season.
Yeah, because sometimes, like I talked about in one of my motivation videos, like you're hidden for a reason.
Right.
Sometimes God has something bigger and better for you than you even imagining for yourself. You know, she says, "Hey." Oh, this was a big one.
Yeah.
I had this conversation before. You are able to trust when you're ready to date. And you're open to dating, is like you're saying, I'm ready to trust again. I'm ready to trust this person, this process. And it's hard to trust things when you had a relationship in the past that was just so untrustworthy. You know, where someone's lied to you several times over and over and over again. But when you are ready to date, you've gone through that process of being with self and learning that things, you see the bigger picture of things. You see that there's a higher purpose.
Right.
And like one of the comments said about purpose, like dating with purpose, knowing your purpose and what your purpose is together,
Right.
you know? Sometimes we look at things like, oh, you know, he looks perfect or she looks perfect, and you just look at the exterior of things and you're like, oh, we'll match together, so great.
Right.
And we forget about the purpose. Like God has a bigger purpose
yeah.
for everyone who He puts together, He joins together, and you may not see it sometimes until you open up your natural, your divine eyes, you
Yeah,
know,
spiritual
and to
eyes.
be able to see that.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's all about purpose.
Absolutely.
Because you can love someone, and when you're whole yourself, and you love yourself, and you're with this other person, and you can love them for who they are and see the purpose of why God put you in their life.
Right.
You know, and allow that to be the main thing.
Yeah.
Instead of all the other things that we see in movies where it's like, oh, he'd sweep me off my feet. He makes me so happy.
Right.
He buys me diamonds. He's taking me out. Yeah, that's fun. You can do that. That's dating and, you know, doing different things with your spouse.
Right.
But that shouldn't be the basis of your relationship.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
when that all stops, you're like, oh, I'm not in love with him anymore. I want a
Right.
divorce. You're not making me happy anymore. Like, what's happening?
Right.
You
Or
let
he
yourself
doesn't
get
love you 'cause
fat.
he doesn't
You're
value
not
this.
doing this,
Right.
you know? So what was this whole relationship based on in the first place?
Exactly.
The body,
Material things.
material things.
Yeah.
You know?
Lust.
So that's why there's a high percentage rate of divorces in this
Yeah.
country, because people realize that they're marrying for love, and you don't really marry for love.
Yeah.
It's like the guy said, you marry for purpose. You marry for commitment.
Yeah.
You marry to honor one another.
Right.
And with that, that doesn't go away. Because people can say, I love you one day, and the next day they can say, I don't love you.
That's so true.
So that's why it's important to have more of a base, you know, a foundation to stem from for your relationships.
Yeah.
Oh, Keisha says, I think I've been there, done that. I think, and have other obligations. Relationships cause hurt, pain, mistrust, and distractions. My purpose is to be an awesome friend to people. Love, don't live. Not to be a wife. You feel like that's your purpose? Sorry, typos. You feel like that's your purpose, to be like a friend and not ever a wife? You don't see that for yourself?
That's interesting.
Oh, love don't live here. So it's almost like you've kind of closed the door to that. Like you're not open to that opportunity for yourself. Like being in a relationship. You're better as friends. Do you feel like it's from a lot of hurt? Because it seems like every time she gets into a relationship, she says it's like distractions, it's mistrust, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
And those are just not the people that are for you.
Right.
And like we were saying, when you take time with yourself and just work on you, and you keep moving and progressing in that, you will attract somebody. Like someone will come into your life when you least expect it, and it'll be the right person for you.
That's gonna love you the way you love yourself too.
Exactly.
And beyond that, you know what I mean?
And sometimes we think, you know, we're not worthy or we're not good enough because of the men or the women that we choose to be in our lives, and we think like, you know, how
can anyone love me? Or,
how can anyone love me? Or what was the thing we said about, you know, I wasn't wrong in the relationship.
Right.
Like I wasn't wrong. Like I am good enough.
Right.
Because you can feel that way after being in so many relationships with people and they just go sour.
Right.
Yeah, Stacy says she is a great friend and will be blessed, Keisha. Definitely. I feel like you will have it. Keisha says, not even entertaining it. The church forced me so much to make me feel as if I was incomplete as a single mom. But personally, I found happiness when the stresses of being a wife was off of me.
Well, I hear you on that part. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes the church can, like, you know, you need to be married. You need to do this.
Exactly.
And there's so many people that have done that. You know, people got married for the wrong reasons, you know what I mean? And they're divorced today. So I get, like, the pressure. You don't want to live up to that standard of people. But at the same time, it's okay to take time to get to, you know, be one with yourself and be single. But you are more than a friend, you know what I mean? And maybe whoever, I don't know if you're dating now, maybe they don't deserve all of that right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's okay, but at the right time, I think you're going to be a great wife. And it's not going to be because the church said, you know, this is what you have to do. You're going to know within yourself, like, this is what I want, and this is the right person. I believe God will give you God doesn't leave us in the dark, you know, and in the blind. You know, you'll know when it's that time.
You'll know exactly.
And I guess sometimes the church don't want us to be in sin, you know, maybe sleeping around or doing stuff like that. So I get that, but that's not to say that you don't deserve to have her be a wife to anyone.
Yeah.
Just maybe not at this time. And you don't have to feel pressure to do it just because.
She said, no, I don't date. I'm friend zoned all the time. Yeah, it's just the people that they don't know what a great woman you are. Keisha, you are an awesome person, honestly. Like, I know you personally, and I think you're a wonderful person. And I just think the guys that are in your life or around you, they don't deserve you. They don't. Because they don't see that gift that you have. And when someone can't see that in you, you got to see it for yourself.
True.
And that's when you remove yourself from all the bull crap, from all the people. And don't worry about people. People shouldn't be judging you anyway. Right. Especially if they're in church. We have to love each other, honor each other, and respect each other. You know? And you have your own relationship with God, and you talk to God,
your
and
own convictions.
Yeah, your own convictions, things that you pray for, and all that stuff. So don't worry about the exterior world, because nobody got it all figured out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Right.
And you definitely don't want to give up on yourself just because church folks, you have some church folks that are like that, that are very much not living a very church life,
right.
When they go home, but they have so much to say about you. And you don't have to take that, own it, and put that over your life, like
right.
define yourself because of what someone else says.
Right.
And also, the men, like I said, they're not even supposed to be there. Yeah. That's just a sign to tell you that you are worth so much more. That's like God is telling you through these men, like, right. Keisha, you really? Like, girl, like, you're a diamond in the rough. Like, you're right. a queen. You're beautiful. And you deserve more than that.
Yeah.
And he wants you to see that you are worthy and you are more than enough and right. that you're so special.
Yeah.
You're his baby. Like,
and
he's not going to just leave you
right.
with no one.
I like what you said last week with, like, not allowing relationships to define who we are either.
Yeah, and the relationships don't define us.
Yeah.
And our obstacles and our past don't define us. And being a single mom, that doesn't define you and say that you're broken or you're not worthy of having a husband.
Right,
you know what I mean? Or you're not cut out for this. You're more than cut out for this. Yeah. Seriously.
Just probably was, like, just yoked up and hooked up with the wrong people. But
God forgives, and you forgive yourself, and you move forward. Yeah. Don't let any of that break you down or define you.
Right, forgive that person and just keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Don't hold on to any bitterness, resentment. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And keep loving yourself.
Keep loving yourself, that's key.
You're a beautiful woman, like, seriously, you're beautiful. I always say that. I'm like, look at her. She doesn't even age. But you got this, girl. We're praying for you.
Absolutely. Maybe that's just not a focus right now.
Yeah.
And it's
focus
okay.
on you.
Right.
And your beautiful boys.
There was more comment, right?
She said, "Oh shucks, I'm blushing," and she said, "Thanks, guys."
Definitely.
I
thought Puma said something.
She said, "Yep, I agree with you. You are Keish." She was agreeing.
Okay.
And she's beautiful.
Gotcha. Mommy said you can love someone for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you can definitely love someone for
true.
the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And we didn't really touch on this, but it's back to the trust.
Yeah.
Are you able to trust? Are you able to trust someone, to start dating again?
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself that. So that's when you'll know if you're really ready, because you don't want to go into dating someone and just like, are you this? Or do you do that? Like,
right.
I don't really know, because my ex used to do that.
Right.
I've done this before. And I wouldn't want to go into something, pinning all that on this new person because of something that happened in my past.
Yeah.
And I have to get over,
Yeah.
I have to move forward, grow from that, accept it. It happened already. It's over. I learned from it. But not everybody is a liar. Not everybody is out to get me or to hurt me or to, screw me over. Some
really
people are, but you can discern that.
Yeah.
You can definitely discern that. You can see the red flags beforehand.
Right.
And just keep your eyes
But
open.
and that goes back to keep being one with yourself, and you know what I mean, because you kind of miss different things when you're not really in tune with yourself and what you want, and when you don't really love yourself, you know. But you know, when a little knucklehead come in your life, you'll be able to recognize it because you're like, no, this is not how I want to be treated. These are things I don't stand for. These are my values. This is, you know what I mean. But if you don't take time to even make any or have any type of values or something like that, you know what I mean, you'll just kind of go with whatever. But when you stand for something, you know, there's certain things you just won't tolerate in a relationship or in a person. So it's okay to be strong, you know what I mean, and to not be falling for every person that come in your life and say you're beautiful or you're hot or you're dope or, you know what I mean. When you really want to be with someone, you're going to make sure, like, do a background check. You know what I mean? See if this is the type of person you could see your future with. You know, not just right now. You know, a lot of times we hook up with people and we mess around, but we don't think about, like, the future. And, you know, a lot of times we say, like, oh, my feelings ain't in this. You know, they know, you know, this ain't going nowhere. We just hooking up and there's no feelings involved. But there's always feelings involved, especially when you're sleeping around. You know what I mean? There's some type of emotional connection. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got to realize that you're more than that.
Yeah, definitely.
And keep it moving. You know what I mean? So, but you got to love yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and get yourself to that point. Yeah, and it's okay to say no.
People.
Right. That's your power.
Who cares how they react? Like,
right.
It doesn't matter.
This is your power.
You got to accept that.
Yeah.
Kind of like you get upgraded every time you live in your truth.
Right.
And you stay in alignment with yourself.
Seriously.
But when you go out and you gear off and you know what's true for you and you still go off to the other side, you're like, that's when you keep attracting the same stuff.
And that goes back to, like, you know, the no compromising and, you know, being okay with saying no. You know? So, in honoring your higher self.
So you want to recap? You guys have any comments or anything else to say?
Word. But again, the topic was 5 signs to know when you are ready to.
We actually did like 7.
Yeah, we definitely did 7.
Gave extra.
Honor yourself, your higher self. You know, no compromising, etc. 2, you are okay with being single. 3, over your last relationship, which is really important. 4, acceptance of the past and not wanting to date or you want to date for the right reasons. You know, you're not in a rush. It's actually 6, and 7, you are able to trust. This is when you know. These are just a few signs. There's a bunch of signs. But these are some of the ones that stood out to us.
And also, we forgot to say, like, trusting your intuition.
Yeah.
Like, your gut. Like, you know when you're ready for something and you know when you're not.
You do. And you got to be honest with yourself.
Because sometimes you go against what you really feel and what's going on inside.
Right. And sometimes you know you're not even ready, but you try to force it, you know, and make it work. And that's not good either.
Yeah, be honest with yourself and be honest with the other person.
Yeah.
And spare them some time.
Like I was saying before, there's 2 people involved, you know? So, honor yourself, honor the other person. Honor God. Keep God at the center. Follow His lead. Allow God to direct you and to help you make better decisions. Even with dating, it's very important. Seek God.
Yes.
You know? I would say this, and we'll leave you with this. I took steps to, like, honor myself, my higher self, and to love God and keep God at the center of my life and even in my relationships. And I sustained from sex for like a whole year. And as I did that and started to honor myself and stop compromising with people and giving myself to people, you know, and allowing people to manipulate me or what else? Take advantage of me, you know, and take that stand and love myself and allow God to be at the center of my life. That's when I feel like God started to prepare me even more for a relationship. And I started to know exactly what I want and how I want to be treated, and you know what I mean. And I feel like I'm now in a more clear space when I'm ready to receive whatever God has for me. You know, and I never would have got there if I didn't take that time out to say, like, look, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna sustain from this. I'm not gonna, you know, be messing around, but I'm gonna give myself to God, all of me, mind, body, soul. That's when God, you know, started to just blow my mind and transform my life in like many ways, not just in the dating scene, you know what I mean, but just with everything. So trust Him. Is if that's what I can say, you know, allow God to be at the center of your life and your relationships and your decision making, and know He has the best for you. When I say God will give you beyond what you even think you want, He really will, and you gotta trust Him. You want to read Gene Daniels? You know, I'm not gonna too long.
And then Stacy over here at the comment.
Okay.
Are you about to delete your
I
comment?
know.
You gotta click see more.
My fingers are big.
Okay. Nana says, in a relationship that is toxic, do not lower your standards. See yourself above it.
Yeah.
And if they do not see the beauty in you, do not let no one control you, telling them, I am not a remote control. God wants us happy.
Yes.
You will know when you are ready. Exactly.
That's so true. You hear that, Keisha?
For everybody out here right now.
Seriously.
You will know. You know when you're ready.
What's up, Tasha? Absolutely. That He will, she said. It's the truth.
Thank you for that, because that's the truth, Nana. Stacy says, wow, is there a timeline to reach your mate? No.
A timeline? No, there's no timeline.
You have your own process that you're going to go through. And you could delay that by
That's what I was saying
gearing
earlier.
off and not staying in alignment with yourself and in your higher power. But if you stay in alignment, that's what we're saying. If you stay in alignment with God and yourself, and speaking to God and praying, and working on yourself,
right? Tell God what you want.
Get there.
Pray, believe it, but don't allow that to be the only thing that's your focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your only focus when you wake up in the morning, oh my God, I want a man or I want a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just want what God has for you.
For you.
Be patient. Work on yourself. Wait. This is my song. Hey.
I always say to God, whatever I need to become the woman that you see me as, or what you're calling me to be, please, allow me to be that person. Help me with that.
Right.
Whatever it is. So it's like, I'm asking God to help me become the woman that He called me to be. I'm not asking Him for a man. I'm not asking Him for this future life that I want. What do I need to do? Like, what steps do I need to take to become better for myself so I can have those things?
Right.
Because if you're not in the right space and alignment with yourself, what are you going to do with it if it ever came to you?
Right.
You wouldn't be prepared for it.
Exactly.
So that's why you got to get the preparation now.
Cause the relationship to crash. So, yeah.
So you never know when it's going to happen. You just got to be open and working on yourself continuously.
God got you. I promise you that. Like, legit. Love yourself and just keep moving forward. Do things that make you happy. Experience new things.
Exactly.
Take risks. And at the right time, you're going to attract a like-minded person.
Step out of your comfort, We get too comfortable in our environments in our life, and we don't move. We don't move forward. But we want all these things. We ask God to provide us with all these things, but we're not moving out of our comfort zones.
Right. That's true.
It's like, you want a man, but you're not eating healthy or going to the gym or getting yourself clear and clean and feeling good mentally, physically.
Or practicing healthy relationships.
Or
you still talking down to people or mistreating people, you know what I mean?
Or allowing people to mistreat you.
Right.
So it goes hand in hand.
Right.
Just be mindful of things you pray for. And the things that you're doing right now that's hindering that blessing to come.
Right, because we could be selfish. It could be all type of stuff that we need to work on before going into a relationship.
We can delay our own blessings by our actions.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoy this topic. We're not going to hold you guys any longer. I thought this was a dope topic, and you know,
definitely.
something that people kind of talk about but don't really talk about. You know, we think we're ready, we don't know.
We hope now this opened your mind
says
to different possibilities and knowing when you're ready to start dating again.
Yes.
But if you're not, we just say we bless you and we hope that you continue to work on yourselves to be the best version of yourself and have the relationship of your dreams. God bless you all and have a good night.
We love y'all.
Thank you and come back next Tuesday.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.